Legislature officially passed a new congressional map. What the hell is happening? The only thing special about today's session is how stupid it was. Started strong this morning at 8 a.m. with the redistricting committee. They take their jobs really seriously, which is why it took them 9 whole minutes to do the job of the committee. 9 minutes and 22 seconds. And in the biggest surprise of the day, they picked Map C, the least competitive map, and the map that the Utah GOP sent an email out about last week saying it's the only map that can stop Democrats from taking back control of Congress. So, shocking. Map C for conservative. 2 quick highlights for you on that front. Senator Sandel mispronounced the word gerrymander. He calls it a gerrymander. That's how straightforward they're trying to be. He doesn't even know what a gerrymander is. Gerrymander. And then they did some interviews with the press right after the committee adjourned, and Sandel and Perucci both act absolutely shocked when the press asked them about the email that the Utah GOP sent out supporting Map C. He really was like, what, they did what? I had no idea. What? I've never seen an email in my life. Didn't check my carrier pigeon. I've seen it. And yet they lie. Shockingly, politicians don't tell the truth, you guys.
The biggest victim of the day award goes to Brady Brammer. He brought his redistricting standards bill to the floor and it passed, shockingly. But not after Brady Brammer had the hardest time ever because everybody was really upset about his bill. And so we had to amend it and then people still weren't happy. He added 2 more tests to that bill. So it was 3 tests of partisan symmetry, but all of these being cherry-picked tests that don't actually give us a good analysis of our state and happen to be the ones that are good for Republicans. His bill passed with 22 votes in the Senate and 7 no votes. The only no votes were all of the Democrats and Thatcher, Daniel Thatcher, the Forward Party candidate, Forward Party elected, the Forward Party senator. And then it passed with 55 votes in the House and 18 no votes. Those no votes were all of the Democrats, plus Jim Dunnigan, who's in a competitive district, Steve Ellison, who's also in a competitive district, Ray Ward, who's not in a competitive district, just is a good guy. And in the biggest shocker of the day, Carrie Ann Lisenby. Now, Carrie Ann Lisenby did not just briefly grow a spine. She's just very upset that she's not in leadership anymore, and she voted no on basically every bill today. Because it passed with 2/3, it goes into effect immediately, where if it wouldn't have passed with 2/3, it would have waited to go into effect until December, and then it would have influenced the current case. But, you know, moderate Republicans didn't have any spine, and so it passed with 2/3. That's what happened, though.
And the big finale of the day, they finally voted on the map C. Every single Republican legislator that was speaking to the maps, reading from a script. Literally, the presentation from the Senate to the House was exactly the same. The court is forcing us to do this, and now we can't follow good standards because we have such a tight timeline, and we don't even want to be here, but we're doing a really good job. And we're definitely not looking at partisan data, and they definitely haven't seen the news or talked to the Republican Party or anyone ever. So the map bill started in the Senate, where it passed 18-9. The no votes were great. Started out strong with Heidi Baldery, who I'm pretty sure accidentally voted no. Like, she was going on this whole grandstand about how the court's overstepping, and then she said, and with that, I'll be voting no. Maybe she meant to vote no. Maybe she didn't. Not my business. Next no vote was Dan McKay. He also gave a long speech. That speech, if he clips it, is going to, like, hit so hard at the Republican convention when he runs for Congress. He's gonna say, I didn't even vote for these maps. I didn't even want them, but now that we're here, we need our best chance to defeat the Democrats, and our best chance to do that is with me, Dan McKay, which honestly would be great because I would love for him to be out of the Senate and then lose his campaign for Congress. Every Democrat voted against that map, and then Forward Party Senator Dan Thatcher. In the House, it passed 56-17. Some good debate on the floor about this bill, particularly from House Minority Whip Jen Daly Rovo, who did call this process of their map drawing garbage in, garbage out, to which Candace Perucci made some faces. We'll put a clip in for you.
Policy and does not meet those standards, and so I would encourage a no vote. Thank you.
No votes in the House were every Democrat, Jim Dunnigan, Steve Ellison, and what? Voted no when they didn't need 2/3 to pass it just so you could say that he voted no? Anthony Lubay? Interesting. Anthony, you could have done something and you didn't, and we're mad at you. You're still on the list, man.
The map is passed and it's awaiting the governor's signature. We expect him to sign it tonight. He will sign that and then it will go to the court. The maps have to be to the lieutenant governor by November 10th. The plaintiffs just barely, like 5 minutes ago, submitted their maps to the court. So we are going to do a full video breaking down the maps that they submitted tomorrow. But now the judge will have the opportunity to choose between the 3 maps, the 2 plaintiffs' maps and the 1 map C from the legislature. Brady Brammer today went on a whole tirade. If the judge picks any map other than map C, they are planning on impeaching her and or the lieutenant governor. And it sounded very much like a threat. This is back in the court's hands. You can give money to Better Boundaries to keep fighting this legal case. You can also donate to Alliance for a Better Utah to fund the accountability efforts, because some of these people need to be held accountable for their votes, I think, in their elections next year, but that's just me. What a fun way to start the week. Love getting gaslit by the Republicans. Yay!